George Bush could learn a thing or two. For your listeners, in June of 2002, there was a story, front page of the New York Times, in fact, bottom fold, where it talked about a village in my home country, Kenya, where this small Maasai village, a son of the village came back from Stanford, where he had been going to medical school. And while in medical school, when he came back, he told his village what were the real facts of the September 11 attacks. And the people in this village, which is quite poor, were very touched on a human level and by the suffering and the loss in New York City. And do you know what they did? They gathered 14 head of cattle, 14 cows, and offered them to the people of New York and said, here, we want to contribute to your recovery. George Bush could learn quite a lot from these people, from the generosity of people who have nothing, and by any measure, whether in the U.S. or in Kenya, are extremely poor people, but who responded on a human level, who responded on the sense that fellow human beings had suffered a devastation, and they wanted to be in empathy.
Anti-war activist Bruce Gagnon's May 7th counterpunch commentary captured my thoughts on mainstream politics and the systematic nature of empire. He was writing a critique of an editorial on the U.S.-Iraq war that appeared in his local Portland, Maine newspaper. It complements what I have argued about the nature of U.S. imperialism and especially liberal and democratic support for it. He said that the editor explained why the paper had decided to come out against the war in Iraq after long supporting Bush's shameful and illegal occupation. The editor, as the editor now, stated that the paper had not renounced its belief in American exceptionalism. We're still the city on the hill.
I put to you that the United States is without doubt the greatest show on the road. Brutal, indifferent, scornful, and ruthless it may be, but it's also very clever. As a salesman, it is out on its own, and its most saleable commodity is self-love. It's a winner. Listen to all American presidents on television say the words, the American people. As in the sentence, I say to the American people, it is time to pray and to defend the rights of the American people. And I ask the American people to trust their president in the action he is about to take on behalf of the American people. It's a scintillating stratagem. Language is actually employed to keep thought at bay. The words American people provide a truly voluptuous cushion of reassurance. You don't need to think. Just lie back on the cushion. The cushion may be suffocating your intelligence and your critical faculties, but it's very comfortable. This does not apply, of course, to the 40 million people living below the poverty line and the 2 million men and women imprisoned in the vast gulag of prisons which extends across the United States. The United States no longer bothers about low-intensity conflict. It no longer sees any point in being reticent or even devious. It puts its cards on the table without fear or favor. It quite simply doesn't give a damn about the United Nations, international law, or critical dissent, which it regards as impotent and irrelevant. It also has its own bleating little lamb tagging behind it on a lead, the pathetic and supine Great Britain. What has happened to our moral sensibility? Did we ever have any? What do these words mean? Do they refer to a term very rarely employed these days? Conscience? A conscience to do not only with our own acts, but to do with our shared responsibility in the acts of others. Is all this dead?
is what needs to happen. It had nothing to do with what they would get back. It had nothing to do with the fact that someone else was going to make a profit off of it. It was about caring about the suffering and the grief and the loss of another human being. Human beings from very far, far away who they had never met. And this is the spirit of generosity. This is the spirit of human